Hey everyone, Jeremiah here. So it is time for the Highland section of my large greenhouse. So today I'm going to do a hopefully single take walkthrough and show you some of the cool things that are picturing and happening right now in the Highland house. Show you some of the new additions I've done since last year. We're late July of 2022 and I'll be posting this on YouTube as soon as I have time, hopefully within the next year. But we will come on around. Obviously, we got to start with this Lowii truncata wide peristome California Carnivorous clone. This has just been one of my favorite plants I've received in the last couple years, and it is absolutely spectacular, a fast grower and huge. Okay, come with me on this Highland adventure, and we'll turn you around. Okay, so we'll start here on this first bench. This is kind of working area slash new arrivals slash seedling area. Over here, this is kind of the Peltata and Veitchii hybrid section. I usually keep this over the top of them because I find Peltata doesn't like a whole lot of water on its leaves to pitcher properly. Have a lot of really nice clones. Most of these I did grow from seed. This one is a really nice kind of yellowish green clone. Then I had this one in flower just recently, so hopefully making a few hybrids with it. It's just a huge pitcher. I have all four of my Leviathan clones here. This one is in flower right now, so no great pictures, but we should have some nice seed here coming up relatively soon. As we move on around, you can see another nice Leviathan picture right back in the corner, and even a basil there, so always excited for that. More Peltata. Then this one has been an absolute nightmare to grow. It's the only plant I've ever had germination with the Veitchii, with Ventricosa K, I believe it is, or yeah, Ventricosa K crossed with Raja. So this one's just been a battle. Hopefully it'll settle in now, but who knows. Then as we move on around, this is Peltata crossed with Velosa, and that is just a beast of a pitcher. Man, I think we're at 8 or 9 inches on that already. Really nice and kind of golden brown Veitchii. Then this is a Veitchii Paramore, kind of from the Barrio area. Hopefully we'll have some nice striping. You can see the difference on that picture compared to its previous one. This one, which was not all that great, so I love the Veitchii in the teenage years as it goes from something not all that spectacular to maybe one of the greatest pitcher plants in the world. Then we have a Raja crossed with Jacquelinia. This is one I made quite a few years ago. Kind of developed down in there, and moving it out, I kind of snapped the peristome, but it's coming along. It's been a battle to grow. Only a handful of growers, I think, are still growing that cross. Okay, then maybe some newly repotted seedlings. Truncata Ephipiata Mollis, Truncata Ephipiata Lowii. Some nice new arrivals, hand-delivered from Dom at Red Leaf, so can't wait to see a lot of Candy Dreams pollen in there. Then just got this Spectabilis crossed with Velosa, so man, that's looking pretty good. Aimee in the back. I'm just starting to get some like good-sized pictures on all my seed-grown Aimee, and that one just has quite the striped peristome. As we move on around, this is that absolutely incredible Velosa crossed with Veitchii that G Exotics just sent me, so it's settling in and looking nice. Finally took some cuttings this year, so be on the lookout for some of them. I have some really interesting stuff. Obviously, I only took cuttings of plants that I really appreciate myself, so stuff like Undulatifolia is just starting to grow. Then we have other ones, Ramispina, Gilbrata. Ooh, and here's another Leviathan pitcher. So this one just flowered as well, so not quite as big of a pitcher as this last one, but man, that's not half bad. Oh, we'll move on around. Now this is probably my biggest seed-grown Aimee. Doesn't get the striped peristome like some of the clones, but it opens and the peristome is kind of a nice bright green. And then as they age, they go literally black. So very cool how it does that. Continuing on around, we have some interesting things back here. This is one of those, it's a new species, and I forget if it begins with a B or a T, and I get them confused, but it's definitely not Cebuensis. Then we have this amazing Raja hybrid that Jeff Schaefer did a while back, and whew, that is literally a 1 foot picture, and it is hefty. Okay, again, kind of seedling area, starting area. We have stuff like the succubus. This is one of the smallest species of Nepenthes, Micrantha. Let's look. Yeah, something along those lines. Back here, we have one of the great hybrids between Truncata, Basciana, and Spectabilis in not that order, but obviously is a beautiful plant. Up in the rafters over here, we have a Nevada Truncata. Up over here, other cool stuff. Sanguinea, this is that huge clone from predatory plants, coming along nicely. Ooh, and then this one is really cool. This is one of the Sulawesi Maximas. I believe Noah sent me that seed a long time ago. Actually finally cut this one, but the lower pictures are incredible. As we come on down, what do we got here? This is one of the Rob Cantley crossed with Lowii afipiata that Stefan Gladich sent me seed a while back, and it's coming along. Ooh, then we have some of these Rocco Basciana VCI K Orange Fade. So Drew Martinez of Carnivorous crossed these. I think Exotica did the original Rocco Basciana VCI, and some of these are turning out spectacular. Again, just kind of in that teenage phase. Nice little seed-grown Cebuensis here. It looks like that picture kind of developed in front of something, so it's not quite perfect, but they have been in the past. Basciana VCI hiding back there, looking pretty solid. Some really nice Pinguicula. We might as well go down and show you what Howard has been helping me out with the last year or so. So we have upped our Pinguicula game. Well, I have, because Howard's always been good at it. But look at all these beautiful Pinguicula. They are just looking spectacular. And this is growing under the bench. We might as well show you this side. So honestly, my Helianthera do not look their best this time of year. Come December, I'd say that's when they get their nice candy apple red colors, but they're actually growing pretty fast this time of year. So a lot of these Pelosas over here have some really good sized pitchers, just not the color that they will have once the temperatures cool off. This is a beautiful hybrid that Ivan did, and right now I'm blanking how you pronounce it, but it is a cool one named after probably something Greek. Let's continue on around, and there we go. Now we'll stand up, start walking this way. Whew. Stood up too fast, don't get lightheaded. Then up in the rafters, here's a really nice one. This one's a Lowii VCI Campanulata, bred by Exotica, of course. As we come on around, we have Hamada crossed with Singulana, or Singulana crossed with Hamada. Always a nice one. And this is the Undulatifolia crossed with Hamada. Has some really cool upper pictures here. And then the lower pictures are super fat and tubby, but just has a little basal here. This is a really nice one that Sam did. I believe it's a Tibiae VCI something of the sort, but just really nice color there. As we come on around, Morelliana crossed with VCI, looking pretty good. Some of my seed-grown Platykylas are just starting to produce the intermediate pitchers, so not quite upper, but we are not far off. And then we have the alba ventricosa area. So this first one is the Denver clone. Then we have clone C. I took a lot of cuttings of these, so not a whole lot of nice pictures. And then of course, the one and only Longwood clone, which so many of these are just not the Longwood clone that are being traded around. But it is a spectacular plant. I took a few cuttings of it as well, so hopefully we'll have some to trade or sell in the following months. As we move around, we forgot our little Pitapangii that starts up in the rafters here. And just a cute little species. I'm still looking for the Laura Lindu form, so if anyone has that, hit me up. And here's where the Pitapangii starts, along with Diatus. The lower pictures on Pitapangii are just beautiful. Almost looks something like a Gilbrata. Speaking of Gilbrata, man, that one is going to be tough. Oh, there's one up there, but then it goes all the way up into the rafters. I doubt I can quite reach it, so that's looking beautiful. As we come on down, look at this one. Whew. And then we have Predator right next to a Gilbrata, and the Gilbrata just have this I think every single one of these is hand painted by maybe some fairies while I'm asleep, but they are just stunning. And we'll come on down this way, and we kind of have the Tentac section, which never gets enough appreciation, but there are just some beautiful clones. I mean, this one is like a gray purple almost, which, man, that's cool. Then this is the Guning Raja, really dark form. As we come on around, we have an Epiphytica. Whew, I honestly didn't know these pictures could get this big, but this one's probably 8 inches, maybe a little bit more. Right next to it, we have Red Harry, also known as Diabolica, crossed with Tentac. That's beautiful dark color there. Up here, this looks like a Glandulifera, or Densiflora crossed with Glandulifera. And then we have this beautiful Lowii crossed with Jacquelinia. So this is finally coming into its own, and we get some really good sized pictures on that. A solid 8-9 inches. Then, let's see, we will look up into the rafters here. So this is my 11 o'clock morning mist. So I only use the 11 o'clock morning mist on hot days. It's been in the 90s in Colorado Springs recently, which is pretty darn hot for us. So this will come on, mist for 10 minutes, and then it'll come on, go off. Ooh, and then we have one of the unusual pictures back here. This is if somebody else knows how to pronounce that one properly, it's humming something or other, but it's super cool. I can't wait for some upper pictures on it. And we have a nice Lowii. This one is a Mulu form from Jeff Schaefer as well. And you can see a really nice, can we get back in there? Diabolica, where is it? There we go. It's gonna be hard to get all the way in there,